That's gotta be the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I mean, shame on goddamn kids for not putting
Yeah.
that stuff back.
I mean, balls and strikes. Come on, man. That
Well,
is a
for your
necessity.
players out there and shit, like,
Yeah.
I know, like, playing softball and stuff like that, like, just even summer league and stuff,
Four
you want to sometimes look up
count
there, no, you
inning
don't.
out. Like it's four things. That's all you need. Four count inning out. You don't need any of the other fancy
Right.
shit if you don't want.
And I love how it can
But
keep time.
oh yeah. Well yeah.
You know, for a time game, it's like, well, we don't time our fucking games, and neither does the high school, so it's like, okay, that's a smart decision. Yeah, and they're a blast.
You can get field over there.
Well, yeah, that shit was awesome. Well, I think at least starting this summer, they can start working on
Yeah.
getting the clubhouse done, because I think they finally, I think this summer they're supposed to have all the shit moved out of there, so now we can start building.
Yeah, because that's what Castle told me was that was this summer, and then he's hoping that that's next summer.
Right.
Wants to take that down, and he wants to
That shed.
yeah, and create a little bit expanded hit cage there.
Right.
And then he wants to turf that in with a park back there for hints and stuff. So, and I know he'd also mentioned long term wants to expand this too for them.
Right. Yeah, well, I think, yeah, I think hopefully it'll all play out. Should.
Hey, every time the Powerball gets over 500 million, I go and buy a ticket. I'm like, I'll pay out my debt and then we'll throw some money.
Yeah, then I'll get, I know, yeah. Can you imagine winning that shit?
One
It's like,
time,
you know.
like, what kind of shit you pray to God or whatever deity you believe in
Yeah.
for, that's the one. It's like just one time, dude. I don't even need the billion.
Yeah. I'll be the greatest person ever.
Just a couple hundred
Give me
million.
that 7 times.
Just give me a couple hundred million. That's
Right.
all I need, man. My debt's not that much.
Right, exactly. And I promise I'll do good things. I won't go out there being generous.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. There might be a couple month period where I might fall off the face of the earth.
Weird, endangered animal in Sterling, Colorado. Oh,
Right.
Ben won the lottery. There's a walrus downtown.
Freaking Bengal walking around.
Here, baby.
They're not the duck injuries anymore. We got a real tiger.
Right, right, yeah. Here, Ben comes to a broadcast today with a peacock.
Right.
Why? Because he can.
Right. Now he even dyed his feathers to black, golden, or whatever. Piling in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the perfect sometimes. Not bad.
Oh, you're coming up.
About 10 minutes out.
Well, they'll probably go, or they'll go early if we have to.
The official game's supposed to be 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That takes me 52 and a half, 53 and a half, 54 and a half. Yeah, we're gonna jump that whole break. I won't deal with those consequences on Monday, because I'm not going to the office the rest of the week.
like it.
You can complain to me next Monday if you still care about it then.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to a beautiful Wednesday afternoon as Northeastern Junior College Plainsman Baseball gets set to take on the Luna Rough Riders on an Easter weekend baseball series. I'm Bev Blecka, the voice of NJC. Plainsman tied for second inside the region at 10-6 coming into the weekend with a 24-19 overall record. They welcome in the Luna Rough Riders, who were 11-27, 5-11 on the year. Gavin Lamont's on the bump as we get underway just before the top of the hour, and he fires a first pitch strike in, 0-1 to get us underway in the first of this Wednesday doubleheader. Tomorrow as well, we start at 11 a.m. Lamont fastball misses in tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. Matthew Wasson is leading things off for Luna. Jose Galindo and Ben Welch, the other two guaranteed up in this first inning as the fastballs popped off foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Simon Molina is the cleanup hitter. Armando Serratos, Xavier Romero, Saul Cardona, Aiden Sanchez, and Eli Headley for the Luna Rough Riders as Lamont 1-2 pitch fouled off by Wasson will do it again. He's being caught by Braden Stuff. Those two have been paired together for much of this season. When Lamont pitches, Stuff catches. Zach McVeigh is at first, Tanner Peary's at second, Hudson Hoy's at third, and Carson Souter is at short. 1-2 pitch misses low and away. Aniel Delorbe is in left, Yusei Uzawa in center, and Brendan Clellan in right for NJC as the fastball runs high on the 2-2 and the pitch goes to 3-2 for the Northeastern Plainsmen in the leadoff batter of this first inning, brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan, the home team for your home loan with hometown people that'll make sure you're taken care of when it comes to all of your needs. Equitable-savings.com. 3-2 pitch drilled deep in the hole to second. Peary lays out and makes the diving catch on the ground ball, but can't get popped up in time, so it is a leadoff knock for Matthew Wasson and the Luna Rough Riders, a team that's hitting .280 this season. Of course, NJC is hitting .353. That is 23 points better than the best team batting average for NJC in program history over a single season. As Galindo steps in and he bunts one up foul, but Hoy unable to chase it down as it dies in foul territory. That will be strike number 1. If you're NJC tied for second, although if the postseason were to begin today, they would be the third-seeded team going into the Region 9 tournament because they did lose the season series to Lamar. Pick throw over to first as Wasson dives back in safely. This is a Luna team that, nobody steals bases the way NJC does at 166 stolen bases on the year. Back pick to first and back in safely. But they do have a couple guys that can run, having stolen 57 this year. One of those that can run is at first. Ground ball through and out to left field, and then overrun by Delorbe on the 1-1 offering. So it is a single after the infield single, and then that will have to also be ruled as an E7 on the overrun that allows the advancement of the additional bases. And 2 are in scoring position, nobody out in the top of inning number 1 for NJC and Luna. As to the plate comes Ben Welch. The first pitch to him misses for ball number 1. Lamont this season has been able to work his way into that ace role, if you will. Pitch high for ball number 2. Lamont's thrown 37 innings. This is his 8th start of the year. 2-0 pitch off the plate, 3-0. 40 hits allowed, 41 strikeouts, 21 walks. He's allowed 2 hits in the defensive miscue as runners, 2 of them in scoring position in the top of this first inning, and Lamont in tight ball 4. So you want to say, what's the key to this contest? Because you bumped up the series, playing Wednesday, Thursday, less mental time to prepare. You're bouncing back from a Friday start to a Wednesday start. That's not out of the realm of normalcy, but that's probably closer than Lamont has pitched for together here in a while. I think the key is finding those ways out of the jams, whatever they may be, and this self-created one. Bases loaded, nobody out, top one. And Simon Molina, the cleanup hitter, he swings and misses on the first one. A one offering. He swings and misses. Boy, Lamont, complete change once the bases load up. Looking for that first out in the top of the first. 0-2, ball hammered but bending foul into the Plainsman bullpen, so the count remains 0-2. Lamont. 0-2 once again, fastball up, didn't get a swing this time from Molina for ball number one. One-two offering, ball popped up. Infield fly rule will be called. Hoy camps and catches. So infield fly runners could have advanced at their own peril if the ball was dropped. It was not. Bases remain loaded. One away, pardon me, for Armando Serratos. The shortstop watches the first pitch by low for ball number one. Serratos making his 39th start of the year, 20 runs batted in. His third on the team this year. Fastball outside corner. Count evens out at 1 strike. One hops into the dirt for ball two. Leadoff infield single in an air. Runners on first and second. Walk behind that. Got the infield fly as Gavin Lamont tries to work out of his own self-created situation in this opening frame. 2-1 pitch, pop back foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's all about the mental approach for this NJC team. They have their mental Mondays. They have their different approaches to different situations. That's always been the key to this team the last couple of years with Coach Catchell. 2-2. Lamont, fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Battling his way back, and a good way to establish that mental approach as the key to the contest here, getting back-to-back outs after loading them up. Our key to the contest on the Eastern Plains Sports Network is brought to you by Channel Seed and your local seed pros, Mike Anderson and Mike Hettinger, or find the one nearest you, channel.com/rise. Xavier Romero now comes to the plate. Lamont fires the first pitch by for strike number 1. Top one of the weekend, air quote, 4-pack. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Supposed to play Friday, Saturday. If you've looked at the weather forecast, you understand why we can't. Softball's moving up. They play at 4 and 6 today, 11 and 1 tomorrow. 1-1 pitch, bouncer to first. Picked up off the bag at first by McVeigh, and Houdini Lamont loads the bases up with nobody out and gets out of it with no damage. Middle of 1, it's scoreless on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back to Plainsman Park for the bottom of inning number 1 of game number 1 of the 4-pack for NJC and Luna, and Jorge Melendez on the bump for the Luna Rough Riders. Scoreless after a bases-loaded situation was danced out of for the Plainsmen in the top of the first inning. Plainsman batting order brought to you by Northeastern Junior College. It's not just college, it's Northeastern. Now's the time to begin preparing for your educational journey right here in Sterling, Colorado. Registration for fall 2025 underway. Visit njc.edu. Yusei Uzawa leads things off for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Tanner Peary and Braden Stuft, the other two guaranteed up in the first inning. Max Valerio, Zach McVeigh, Brendan Clellan, Hudson Hoy, Anil Delorbe, and Carson Souter, the batting 9. Melendez, 47 1/3 innings of work this year. He is about the only starter that looks like he consistently goes longer than 4 innings for the Luna Rough Riders. He, like 9 other pitchers on this roster, is actually a dual position guy. He will play in the infield as well. He's caught by Simon Molina, Ben Welch at first, Jose Galindo at second, and Aiden Sanchez at third. Armando Serranos at short. Xavier Romero, Eli Headley, and Matthew Wasson go left to right in the outfield as Uzawa takes the first pitch away for ball number 1. His on-base percentage has gone down recently, but it's hard to go up with the start that he had as he watches ball 2 by. Uzawa for the Northeastern Plainsmen kicked off the season with a better than 700 on-base percentage. He's at 590 coming into this weekend as he fouls off the 2-0, and it takes the count to 2 balls and 1 strikes. He has 33 hits across 36 starts this year. He powers 1 foul. He's also drawn 41 walks. So he has 8 more walks than hits collected this year. He's been hit by 8 pitches. 2-2 pitch, hits a ground ball deep in the hole at second. The throw over to first, nobody covers the bag. Welch moved to his right to pick it up. Melendez laid off the bump. So it's an infield single that I'm going to go with because there was no throw. It was a mental miscue. But you have to score that, in my estimation, as a hit because no throw was made, no drop was made. That brings Tanner Peary to the plate as Uzawa stands at first, and expect him to turn that hit into a double real quickly. 30 stolen bases this year. Melendez, first pitch low and away for ball number 1, and Melendez gonna keep an eye, one would presume. NJC's reputation precedes them. 166 stolen bases for NJC this season. That is a new program record. They broke the previous program record set in 2019 during the series in Nebraska last weekend against Southeast. It's the first time in the 27-year history of this program you have 2 guys with 30 stolen bases in a season. And mathematically, it's realistically possible that both Uzawa and Stuft, who stands on deck, steal 40 this year. Fastball, outside corner on the 2-0, takes the count to 2-1. 200 stolen bases as a team is very realistic in the regular season for NJC. Uzawa takes off, pitch up, throw down to second, not in time, and he'll round and he'll head to third. So give him second on the stolen base for Uzawa. 3-1 on the count to Peary, and then that will have to, in my book, at least go down as an E2 to advance him to third. Can't give him another stolen base. It's the Plainsmen have a full count with nobody out and a runner on third in the bottom of inning number 1 of this scoreless game. Perry is one of several guys that have also had a lot of success driving in runs. Tanner has 30 this year. Fastball waved at, and he's down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of inning number 1. That will bring Braden Stuft to the plate, and Stuft has had himself a great season so far. .381 on the batting average. This is his 42nd start of the season. It's the first pitch to Stuffed in for strike number 1. Leads the team in stolen bases with 32. Leads the team in hits with 51. 5 homers, 44 runs batted in. Both top 3. Ground ball at short. Scooped up by Serratos. Gunned across the diamond in time for the 6-3 putout, but it is an RBI ground out. Another run batted in for Braden Stuffed. On the second out of the inning, and NJC takes a 1-0 lead on the second out of the frame and handed off to designated hitter Max Valerio, who has 7 homers and 48 batted in this year. In his sophomore campaign, he's hitting a gaudy .430 as he watches the first pitch by away for ball number 1. 1-0 offering, dances in tight, 1 ball and 1 strike. The thing with Valerio, though, with that gaudy number and the power and all that, is there's so many guys that can do it in this lineup. You can't just say, we're going to let somebody else do it, because McVeigh can bang homers. Cleland is hitting better than 400. Stuffed in front of him. I mean, there's no one guy you can say, let's take him out. Valerio has been able to capitalize. 2-1 pitch in tight, 3 balls and a strike with 2 away in the bottom of inning number 1, and NJC leading 1-0. First run of the ball game on this afternoon's affair. Pitch bounded off foul on the 3-1 and takes the count to full. NJC has had full counts in this first inning 3 times now. Uzawa got on a single. Peary struck out. Valerio. 3-2, breaking ball. Did he go? Yeah, he did. He's down on strikes as he broke the plane of the plate, but NJC gets a infield single, steals a base in an air, able to drive him home on a ground ball. 1-0 after 1 inning of play. You're listening to Northeastern Baseball on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back to Plainsman Park for inning number 2. 1-0 NJC, our second inning, brought to you by Sterling Health Foods. Still open, still in the business of your best health, and still available for all of your health care or health supplement needs. Check them out south of Sterling on Highway 6. Gavin Lamont out for his second inning of work. Saul Coronado, Aiden Sanchez, Eli Headley due up as Lamont misses in tight for ball number 1. Gavin Lamont, 27 pitches in the first inning. Loaded the bases up with nobody out, got out of it. First swing of this second inning is a fly ball to center field, and he gets out number 1 on the F8 putout for the first out in this second. To say he labored through the first inning would be an understatement. You look up laboring in a baseball dictionary, Gavin Lamont in that first frame did just that, but able to work out of it. Let's see if you can induce some confidence as a bound-off foul from Aiden Sanchez kicks off the 1 out at bat in the top of the second inning. He missed his first pitch. He has stuff to change his frame. Fastball. Dials it in at the knees. No balls, 2 strikes. Valerio, of course, is very experienced behind the dish as the 0-2 ground ball to short. Diving play by Souter, guns it across the diamond. Stretch play in time. Got the 6-3 put out for the second out of the inning. Good job by Souter, who will handle the shortstop in the absence of Hoy because Hoy is playing third where Stuff normally plays. He's catching because he and Lamont have been paired together, and Souter displaying some solid defense. 2 away, bases empty. As Eli Headley comes to the plate, he watches the first pitch by high for ball 1. 1-0 offering, working quickly, line shot out to right. You load the bases up with nobody out in the first inning, get out of it with nothing. You waltz through the second with a mere 7 pitches. No polar opposite than that. It's still scoreless on the Luna side, 1 on the NJC side, middle of 2 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. One nothing NJC back at Plainsman Park as we head to the bottom of inning number 2, brought to you by Carpet Comfort Center, elegant flooring for every step of your life. Stop by in the Broadway Plaza Shopping Center in Sterling and make your home more comfortable. Carpet Comfort Center, where comfort is their middle name. Zach McVeigh, Brendan Clellan, Hudson Hoy due up for the Northeastern Plainsmen in the bottom of the second inning. McVeigh, .366 on the batting average this season. 3 homers, 41 runs batted in. He's drawn 22 walks and been hit by pitches 11 times. Only Yusei Uzawa and Max Valerio have drawn more walks than McVeigh this season. As Melendez dumps the first pitch in tight for ball number 1. Melendez did give up the run on some small ball, 19 pitches in the first inning. Pours it into the upper edge of the strike zone and evens the count out at 1 ball and 1 strike. Melendez, the 1-1, out in front goes McVeigh, 1-2. And see why Melendez is the ace on this Luna roster. 1-2, bounded off foul. Not that there's anybody, at least I anticipate from what I've seen, there's not really a lot of overwhelming speed. You're not seeing guys that are 92, 94, whatever on this Luna team, but they locate well, and Melendez locating well to try and create some weak contact. Misses away, 2-2. Fastball waved out by McVeigh, and he chased on one off the plate for out number 1 in the bottom of inning number 2, the 3rd strikeout for Melendez on the bump. That'll bring Brendan Clellan to the plate. As mentioned, Clellan is one of the guys hitting better than 400 on this team. 414 on the batting average this year. This is his 33rd game started this year as he checks his swing in tight for ball 1. Clellan, 2 homers, 24 batted in, and that 4-for-4 day in the last home series 9 days ago. Takes ball 2 by low. keep hitting like that, you're going to be forcing the hand and forcing your way into the lineup a little bit more as the 2-0 in tight for ball 3. We'll have a visit to the mound by Simon Molina, the catcher for the Luna Rough Riders. Southeast and Lamar play this weekend. That's a 1-2 matchup for NJC, tied with Lamar right now, sitting back of Southeast. You've lost the season series to both of them, though. So you need potentially another 4-0 to give yourself a shot still, maybe even at that number 1. You're obviously going to have to get on a great run in the final 12 games of this regular season to win the regular season crown. Visit done, 3-0, upper edge of the zone, 3 balls and 1 strike. That strike zone's tall. It's been consistently tall, touching the letters. 3-1, hammered, Oppo, left field and down for a single. So Clellan got ahead 3-0, took the strike and then took what was given to him and found his way aboard for Hudson Hoy. Hoy for the Northeastern Plainsmen has been a regular on the left side of that infield. 39th start of the year for him, hitting .303, went through a little bit of a funk start of regional play. Worked his way out of it, 6 homers, 36 batted in on the year, and he takes a fastball for strike number 1. We'll talk on our intermission that you hear on 94.5 The Ranch and TuneIn Radio with Coach Andrew Catchell about the final 12 games of this season as the 0-1 spins off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside Northeastern, and that podcast went up a couple hours ago on this game day Wednesday, where I sat and chatted with Coach Catchell yesterday about the stolen bases, the pitching, the growth, the maturation, fastball, outer edge of the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Also give you a rundown of the standings, baseball and softball, as softball starts with Otero this evening. 1-2 pitch, bouncer back up the middle. It's short by the bag at short. It's picked up by shortstop Serratos, tagged on second to first. 6-3 double play. Plainsmen get a runner on, don't do anything with it. They lead 1-0 as we head to the third on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. One nothing NJC as we head to the top of inning number 3 back at Plainsman Park. Luna Rough Riders back to the top of the order. Matthew Wasson, Jose Galindo, and Ben Welsh. Our third inning is made possible by Bank of Colorado. They believe in keeping banking simple. You can apply for the loan you need for your dream home online or at one of the many Bank of Colorado locations. Bank of Colorado, member FDIC. Wasson, an infield single, his first time up, takes a first pitch for strike number 1. Lamont, the 0-1, bounder to first. It is foul behind the bag at first for strike number 2. Plainsmen, the home whites, the Vegas Gold Pennies today. The 0-2 from Lamont is barreled up, back up the middle, picked up by Souter, slung across the diamond, but not in time. Deep behind the bag at second. Will have to go down as an infield single again, as the throw was just not there in time. Third hit of the day for the Luna Rough Riders, and for a second time in the game, Wasson's on an infield single. Leadoff man got on in the first, bases loaded with nobody out. Gavin Lamont danced out of that danger. Jose Galindo hit a single as a part of that first inning as well. He's now at the plate with a man at first. First pitch pours into the upper edge of the zone for strike number one. Wasson 14 stolen bases on the year, so worth keeping an eye on if you're Lamont. 0-1, bunt dropped down. Lamont off the mound, barehands it and slings it to first. A sacrifice to move the runner over, and then the Plainsman back pick to second to try and get an overrun by Wasson, but he dives back in ahead of a tag. So one away, man in scoring position for Luna. Plainsmen lead 1-0, and Ben Welsh steps in. The Rough Rider first baseman walked and was left on in the first inning. First pitch, he nubs it over to third, barehanded and gunned to first by Hudson Hoy. His only play was to barehand on very weak contact over there. And it timed perfectly out of the grass, and he even had an opportunity to look Wasson back to the bag at second. Now 2 away for catcher Simon Molina, who popped up on an infield fly his first time up. Lamont, first pitch, 2 hops to short. Souter up, tosses to first. Can't be picked out of the dirt by McVeigh. He will not be able to gun it home as Wasson rounds and heads to the plate. So the run comes home on an error for the Northeastern Plainsmen. And we're tied at 1. A 2-out ground ball to short that just couldn't be picked up by McVeigh out of the dirt at first. And Armando Serratos will step in. He hits a bouncer over to short. Picked up by Souter. He'll fling it to first. In time! McVeigh with the splits to pull that one in. An error plates a run, though. We're tied at 1, middle of 3 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom inning, number 3, back to Plainsman Park as we roll across the bottom of the hour. 1-1 between NJC and Luna. Our bottom of the third brought to you by Sydney Regional Medical Center. Don't let the injury keep you out of the game. Learn more about Sydney Regional Medical Center in Sydney, Nebraska, online, sydneyrmc.com. An error ties the ball game, top of the third, 8-9-1. Delaware Bay, Souter, and Uzawa for NJC in this third. Plainsmen have committed a couple miscues. The overrun by Delaware Bay in the first inning didn't come back to bite them, and then the inability to pick out of the dirt in this inning. you got to put it behind you. And Coach Cattrall talks about that in the Inside Northeastern podcast you'll hear on our intermission today, is that, we said at the beginning, working through the mental pieces, you're going to have the miscues. Not everything's going to be perfect. And providing yourself an opportunity to bounce back is the key, and McVeigh did that, making a nice defensive play after the miscue that plated the run. Delaware Bay showed bunt, pulled back, took ball one, and takes a bender across the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 offering, spins onto the outer edge of the zone for strike number 2. 25th appearance this year for Delaware Bay, hitting .310 as a part of that outfield platoon. 1-2 pitch. He smokes it foul, first base side. And we'll do it again. Struck out 17 times, but 11 walks, 9 hit batsmen. He's got a couple sacrifices in there as well. Check swing on the 1-1 off the handle of the bat, foul, or 1-2, pardon me. Keeps it 1-2. It's interesting with Lamont being the first starter in a 4-game set, because typically this is that Game 3 lineup where it had been for NJC. Some of the guys that were the second tier in the platoon getting these start at their positions. 1-2, Delaware Bay, a piece of it fouls it off, 1-2. But the way everything has worked out, timing-wise and what have you, with the weather change last weekend to have Lamont start Sunday and then start against Southeast on day 1. He gets day 1 here as well. Delaware Bay, the 1-2 swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of the 3rd, tied at 1. That brings Carson Souter to the plate. Souter, 27th game this season, .360 on the batting average. 3 homers, 22 batted in. He has only struck out 18 times this year, and he hits a hot shot over to first. Ben Welch, short hop, picks it out of the dirt, and he tags the bag, 3 unassisted. Quickly 2 away for NJC. That goes back to the top of the order, and Yusei Uzawa has one of the 2 NJC hits and scored the only Plainsman run. Getting on an infield single in the first, stealing his 31st base of the year. First pitch runs across to him for strike number 1. Uzawa steps back off the inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Plainsmen are still statistically, average-wise, on-base percentage-wise, home run-wise, some of the tops in the nation, and stolen bases. I believe they were second in the nation coming into the weekend. Weekend being a loose term on this holiday week. 2-1. Bender, outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Labor first inning for Lamont. He's only thrown 15 pitches since. Melendez is 47th of the game. Off the plate, can't be yo-yoed across and runs the count to full. 4th full count of the game for NJC. A single and 2 strikeouts on the previous 3 twos. Payoff pitch. Oppo fly ball out to left. Frozen rope into the glove for Romero, and NJC waltzed down in the bottom of the 3rd. We're tied at 1 between NJC and Luna to the 4th next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 1-1 game as we head to the fourth back at Plainsman Park. First of a four-pack between the Northeastern Plainsmen and the Luna Rough Riders. And our fourth brought to you by Better Electric, covering all your electrical work, residential, commercial, agricultural. Better does matter. 970-521-1030. Xavier Romero, Saul Coronado, and Aiden Sanchez do up in this fourth as the first pitch is a strike from Gavin Lamont to Romero. 0-1, Bender on the inside corner, quickly 0-2. 27 pitches first inning, and Lamont has found his rhythm since. 0-2, fastball into the dirt for ball number one. Single with an error, walk. Then was able to get out without any damage in that first frame. 1-2 pitch, towering fly ball foul over the Luna dugout. Count remains 1-2. Lamont, fastball, foul tip, cannot be squeezed by Stuffed. Pounding the glove. He wanted to get that second strikeout of the game for Lamont, but could not squeeze it. Count remains 1-2. Bouncer, third base side, behind the bag, picked up by Hoy, gunned across the diamond in time. Hudson Hoy with the 5-3 putout, and boy, the infield has been active today for both teams, but especially on the NJC side. 6 ground ball outs now, with one away in the top of inning number 4 as Saul Coronado comes to the plate. He's only one of 3 that has been put out on a fly ball. Foul tip on the first one for strike 1. Line score right now reads Luna 1 run, 3 hits, an error, and 4 left on. NJC a run, 2 hits, 2 errors, and nobody on. 0-1, breaking ball pours just above the upper edge of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lamont, breaking ball. Woo! Coronado was swinging a garden hose there. He couldn't get anything going in the right direction. Completely fooled on the location. 1-2. Lamont, pop up. Foul behind the backstop. Count remains 1-2. One game, top of inning number 4. Fastball high, 2-2. Beautiful Wednesday, 79 degrees at first pitch. We'll tip up into the lower 80s before it starts to dwindle this evening. Swing and a miss on the 2-2. Second strikeout of the game for Gavin Lamont. Second out of the inning in the top of the 4th. Be 20 degrees cooler tomorrow with rain coming in late in the afternoon. That's why we're starting at 11 a.m. 40s on Friday and Saturday, back to the 60s on Sunday. So Aiden Sanchez digs in. Lamont, fastball, slips away for ball number 1 to Sanchez. 17th batter faced, just the 4th one he's started with a first pitch out of the zone. Lamont, 1-0. He gets right back even with a strike on the outside corner. He said, let me throw that pitch again, and found his spot this time. 1-1 offering. Fastball hammered at high. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Lamont. One-two, towering foul ball over the Luna dugout. Count stays the same. Thought no way, no how would Lamont get to the 5th inning with just 60 pitches as the 1-2's fouled back. Count remains 1-2. You start the ball game with 27 pitches in an inning. The odds are not ever in your favor. From that pitch count standpoint, 1-2, 60th of the game, grounder to third. Hoy picks it up, slings it across the diamond, 5-3 on the putout to end the inning. Another waltz inning, 1-2-3 goes Luna, NJC, and Luna tied at 1, bottom of the 4th next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom of inning number 4, 1-1 affair between the Northeastern Plainsmen and the Luna Rough Riders. Plainsmen to the plate with Tanner Peary, Braden Stuft, and Max Valerio. Our bottom of the 4th brought to you by Buckeye Welding Supply. You have questions, they have answers, and the supplies too. They're not Superman, they just play the part. 330 South 11th Avenue in Sterling. Tanner Peary struck out in inning number 1, and it's been a good ball game so far for Jorge Melendez, the Rough Riders starter, through his first 3 innings of work. 48 pitches, 4 strikeouts, 2 hits. No walks as Peary shows bunt, drops bunt, foul third base side, 0-1. Plainsman plating a run with the small ball approach in inning 1. Trying to employ that here. It's not something we've seen this team do an overwhelming abundance of this year. Is the 0-1 pitch hammered through the gap between third and short and out into left field. It's a leadoff single for Tanner Peary, which is surprising for a team that has 167 stolen bases on the year, that you go, this isn't a small ball team. They're more of a speed team. NJC the last couple of years have been speed and small ball. Coach Andrew Catchell will do a lot of, let's drop down a bunt, let's try and, first to third on a gap. Let's maybe even bunt single. Part of the, the grassing in of the running lanes several years ago here has kind of changed some of that mentality and gives you an opportunity to do some of those things. As Peary gets off the bag at first, Stuffed, showed bunt, pulled back in tight, ball hopped off the glove of Molina. 1-0. Peary, another big lead, hot shot over the outstretched glove of Galindo and into center field. Peary had to lock up to see if he was going to snow cone it. Otherwise, he might have been able to go first to third. But Braden Stuff goes with a single, and now you've got a lot of opportunities if you're the Northeastern Plainsmen to potentially double steal here with Max Valerio at the plate. You do have the team's leading stolen base guy at first with Peary in front of him. Outfielder, infielder. Valerio, all the power in the world, shows bunt and chips it off foul. And that's what I was just referring to. The years gone by, you've seen this NJC team at every position, 1 through 9 in the lineup, be willing to sacrifice, be willing to play some of those small ball things, everybody bunting and that kind of thing. Hadn't seen that this year, but Valerio tried it there. 0-1, now he swings away and makes no contact, 0-2. Typically, your middle-of-the-order guys are not great bunters, especially Valerio coming off that thumb injury last season. Not that he can't. 0-2, he hits a pop-up, foul territory, first base side. Over goes Melendez to make the catch. We're out number 1. Bottom 4, 1-1 game, and Zach McVeigh steps to the plate. McVeigh committed the error that allowed the tying run to cross in the top of inning number 3, so first offensive chance to make amends for that. Although this team does have a very short memory as McVeigh hits a bounder that dives its way into left field. Peary rounds third to induce the throw in, but was never coming home. Third hit of the inning for NJC. Loads the bases up to Brendan Cleland. NJC had 2 hits through the first 3 innings. They have 3 hits with 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Cleland, great opportunity to put the Plainsmen back in front in game 1 of this 4-game set. Melendez tangling with him. He had 1 of the 2 hits prior to this inning, and Cleland smokes it foul for strike 1. Coach Catchell scooting out of the way of that one. He was a little fiery today. Runner moving, pitch up and away as they get off the bags for Potential 2-run scoring chance on a single. Melendez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clellan watches strike 2 bunt. Plainsmen have not left a runner on. Luna has left 4. 1-2. Clellan back up the middle. Peary home, stuffed rounding. They'll gun it in from center. Headley's throw cut off, and the relay not in time. It's a 2 RBI knock for Brendan Clellan, and the Northeastern Plainsmen lead 3-1 in the bottom of inning number 4, and still in business with runners on first and second. That's that small ball, speed ball that we talked about. Get off that bag at second, so what is just a traditional single back up the middle that many teams wouldn't score on, you're able to get, or wouldn't score 2 on. You'd get 1 on it with the bases loaded, but you get 2 because you were moving. Now do you try and move behind it or go back small ball? It's small ball as Hoy takes the first pitch bending away for ball 1, and he did not break the plane of the plate with his bunt on the deference to center field, or to the umpire in the field, not center field. He's not that far away from the plate. 1-0 offering. Ball ripped back up the middle and into center again. McVeigh rounding third. They'll test the arm from center again to Headley. The relay throw will be cut off. First to third goes Clellan. 4-1 NJC. All without the benefit of an extra base hit. And that time, the Northeastern Plainsmen go first to third to prevent the throw home, and out of the dugout pops the Luna coach as NJC's trotted 3 across with 5 hits in the inning, and I do not believe that Melendez is going to be given a chance to finish this. We look like we've got a pitching change. He is lobbying to stay in the game, but the coach finally points him to the dugout. He is out. Plainsmen have driven the starter out. 4-1 they lead. Bottom 4 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Pitching change for Luna as NJC has played at 3 in the bottom of inning number 4. They now lead 4-1. Runners on the corners, and our pitching change on the Eastern Plains Sports Network is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance. Contact Melinda Huff for all your life, home, auto, and farm and ranch insurance needs. 970-526-0202. It's Lane Schrader that is the new arm for the Luna Rough Riders. Right-handed arm with a little bit more speed than what you saw out of Melendez. Schrader is making his 20th appearance of the year, 22 innings worth of work, 18 strikeouts, 9 walks, 14 hits, and 14 earned runs allowed for him on the year. He inherits Hudson Hoy at first and Brendan Clellan at third, with Aniel Delor Bay at the plate. In a 4-1 game, and that was not a bad outing for the Luna Rough Riders starting pitcher. Melendez 3 1/3, 62 pitches, 4 runs, all of them earned, 4 strikeouts, 7 hits, no walks, and Delor Bay lost foul the first pitch he sees for strike number 1. Not a single one of those hits was an extra base knock. Just good contact from NJC, good placement. doing all those things right as the Luna coach comes out of the dugout and was apparently either unhappy with pitching or fielding. I don't know. 0-1. Bunt dropped down by Delaware Bay. Off the mound comes Schrader. Throw to first, and Hoy will move to second. Test the guy off the mound. See if he's ready to get there. You advance the runner up on the second out of the inning, so it's just a bunt put out 1-3. But two stand in scoring position now for Carson Souter in the bottom of the fourth. Trying to add to that 4-1 lead. Schrader way high for ball one. Melendez is the starting pitcher at a pretty smooth and fluid motion. Schrader does not. Big fly ball deep to center field. On the jump, Headley's able to track back and make the catch to end the inning. NJC, though, on 5 hits, plates 3 runs. We head to the 5th. 4-1 Northeastern on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Inning number 5 we go. 4-1. Northeastern leads Luna. 5th brought to you on the Eastern Plains Sports Network by Premier Farm Credit for over 100 years, providing reliable and consistent credit to our area agricultural community. PremierACA.com for more. Eli Headley, the 9-hole hitter, leading things off. Then back to the top of the order, Matthew Wasson and Jose Galindo. Headley took a first pitch in tight from Lamont for ball 1 and then across for strike 1. Gavin Lamont, 60 pitches through the first 4 innings of work. 1-1 offering, bounced over to third and over the head of Hoy, under the glove of Souter. I got to go hit there again because nobody touched that ball. It was just a high bouncer that, even if it was fielded by Souter after it got over the head of Hoy, I don't know that you can really rule an error on anybody there, and that brings Matthew Wasson to the plate. He has 2 of the team's 4 hits, also on infield singles. The first pitch is up and away for ball 1. The only guy that has hit a ball into the outfield that hasn't been recorded an out stands on deck, and Jose Galindo. It's the 1-0 offering. Towering fly ball to center field. Uzawa cannot get to it. It gets over his head and down all the way to the wall. Headley coming into third. It's a double, our first extra base hit of the day. And Luna has the tying run coming to the plate with nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. In the form of Jose Galindo, hit the ground ball to left field in inning number 1. 5th now starting to develop some offense for Luna as Galindo had a sac bunt his last time up. He hits a ground ball to short. Souter muffs it, and everybody's safe. Galindo willing to sacrifice himself to play to run in what'll be a 4-2 ball game now. Gotta go E6 there. Will be an RBI E6 though. Runners on the corners, nobody out in a 4-2 game to Ben Welsh, who's walked and grounded out this afternoon. Lamont, first pitch, rips up high for ball one. The miscues continue to mount for NJC. Lamont 1-0, high for ball two. Souter was thinking about the throw across the diamond, or thinking if he could potentially get home to get the man at home without actually focusing on the first piece of that whole process. You can't get to C without first going through A and B. 2-0, in at the knees for strike number one. Top five of game one of a four-game set. Game two today. Games 3 and 4 tomorrow at 11 and 1:30. Fastball, bunt, drop, third base side. Barehanded by Hoy. Guns it across, not in time. Nobody covering the bag at third. First to third goes Galindo. It's a 4-3 ball game on a bunt single for an RBI for the Luna Rough Riders. Still nobody out, top five, to Simon Molina. So NJC, who had 5 hits in the bottom of the fourth, have now given up 3 hits in the top of the fifth. An activity beginning in the NJC pen as Lamont at 70 pitches misses behind Molina for ball one. Infield fly and reach on an error for him this afternoon. 1-0, Lamont. Pitch delivered. Molina hammers it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned it earlier in the game. You're kind of in this weird spot because this lineup that's out here for NJC spent a good portion of the season being the game 3 of a 4-game set. Fastball he offered. There's no doubt he offered. Molina squared to bunt. Took a tomahawk chop at the ball, and they defer to the field and say, yeah, he did break the plane of the plate. 1-2, fastball, spins high, 2-2. Lamont, fastball, ripped to the backstop, foul by Molina. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners, already 2 across. Top of inning number 5. Stuffed, who's normally an infielder, is behind the dish. Hoy's playing third as opposed to short. Peary, who's usually an outfielder, is at second. Pop up high, foul out of play. Count remains 2-2. Lamont's pitch count really not all that egregious, although he is approaching 80. And as I mentioned earlier today, he's pitching on just 4 days rest as the 2-2 popped up behind the bag at third. Hoy back and makes the catch, recording the first out in the top of the 5th inning, keeping the runners where they are on the corners with 1 away in a 4-3 game to Armando Serratos. Lamont pitched Friday in Beatrice and throwing here on Wednesday now with the weather change for the weekend. The good news is, he rips a fastball. It looked across the zone. It was deemed out of the zone, but they say Serratos offered when they defer to the field. And the Luna coach is going to come out and protest now at the line that he did not break the plane of the plate. It's a tough call to make from the field. I can understand the protest here. But the good news for NJC with the short pitch here is now Gavin Lamont won't throw again for another 10 days until you play in that Trinidad series. So you don't want to obviously burn a little bit further in here, but if Lamont can wrangle his way through this inning, save the pen for the remainder of the series, trot him back out there for the 6th, work him toward 100, see what you can do here. 1-1, spins above the brim of the hat, 2 balls, 1 strike. That being said, the command evaporating pretty quickly here for Lamont. Not sure that Coach Catchell will afford him the chance to work with much there as the fastball misses for ball 2. Because he did throw that Sunday in McCook and then, threw 5 days later. 5 days here, his third time that he's pitching on that traditional major league-esque rest. Bouncer foul on the 3-1. Runs the count to full with 1 away. Speaking of, I forgot to check my fantasy baseball team. Hopefully everybody's playing today. 3-2. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Down looking goes Serranos for the second out of the inning. Lamont able to muscle his way into his third strikeout of the game. Now he meets Xavier Romero, who's grounded out to third and first twice today. Swing and a miss on the first one for strike 1. Kick off the inning, giving up the leadoff single, double behind it. Air plates a run, bunt single plates another, and then getting out of it. Gunned down to second by Stuff. Double steal behind it as Welch took off, and Galindo swipes home to tie the ball game at 4. So a double steal for Luna. It's the third across the plate in the top of the 5th, and Gavin Lamont 1-1 gets a fastball past Romero, 1-2. Lamont the 1-2, can't pour it into the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm guessing he'll be done here. 2 of the 3 across this inning are unearned runs. 2-2 pitch, line shot, laying out is Souter, picking it up. Delor Bay, they'll test his arm. The throw in up the line, not in time. Welch comes home on an RBI knock. Luna takes a 5-4 lead in the top of inning number 5. A 4th hit of the inning and the 4th run across in this top of the 5th. Keeps it going to designated hitter Saul Coronado. And Lamont stepping off the back of the rubber. It looks to me like we're going to have a multitude of changes here as Braden Stuft is removing the catching gear as well. I think Gavin Lamont's going to be lifted from the ball game at 88 pitches for NJC. Well, nobody coming out of the pen yet for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Lamont, he'll now hand the ball to Coach Catchell, and we will have a pitching change. Good outing started to fall apart in this top of the 5th. NJC's now down 5-4. Pitching change on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Pitching change for the Northeastern Plainsmen, 2 away, top of inning number 5, and Gavin Lamont is lifted for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Matt Yarish on the bump, making his 12th appearance of the year. He's thrown 16 innings so far this season, and he replaces Gavin Lamont, who'd been cruising the last couple innings, and then the wheels fell off here in this 5th. Official line will go 4 2/3. 5 runs, 2 of which are earned, 3 strikeouts, 7 hits, and a walk for him. Pounded the strike zone. 15 of the 26 batters he faced, first pitch strikes, got early groundouts, but the knocks in this 5th inning will prevent him from getting through 5. And Yarish, first pitch, it's a foul ball back from Coronado for strike 1 as Romero was moving. Inning has not exactly been what NJC wanted after putting up 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Yarish turning the pick throw over to first, and Romero dives back in safely. 7 hits, 4 of them this inning. The lone extra base hit, the double to center field. 0-1, swing and a miss. Coronado behind quickly, 0-2. Yarish, typically a stopgap option out of the pen for NJC. 0-2. Fastball laced out to left center field. First to third will go Romero. Maybe they'll test him. They're gonna. Del Orbay slips out in left, and home from first goes Romero. So it is an RBI double to make this a 6-4 ball game. As Del Orbay trying to pick it up near the 360 sign in the gap in left center field, slipped and fell, and immediately Romero was sent home. So that will close the book officially on Lamont. 6 runs allowed, 5 in this inning. And Yarish tried to get out of it without any further damage to Aiden Sanchez. First pitch to him at the knees for strike number 1. So now it becomes a war of attrition, which is typically not something you say on day number 1, but as noted with the way the pitching is working out for NJC, you're using essentially your game 3 approaching game 1. Yarish steps off and chases Coronado back to the bag at second. And Luna is a team with the approach to the ball game. When you look at the innings pitched, they don't have a lot of guys that are going to go, multiple times, try and give you a CG or whatnot. So the fastball finds the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. You're going to have to battle in different ways than maybe you would have this last weekend in Southeast or against McCook the series before. Yarish. 0-2 pitch. Ball lifted out to center field. Uzawa, long run at the fence. It's over his head and off the fence. Coronado home. Into second, trading places goes Aiden Sanchez. The double for the Luna Rough Riders gives them 6 in the top of the 5th and puts them up 7-4. And keeps it going to Eli Headley in the top of inning number 5. Headley began the inning with the single and came around to score 1 of 6 runs. Yarish. First pitch, Headley out in front for strike number 1. Was a chopper over the head of Hoy in front of Souter that he was going to leg out had the ball been fielded on the infield. Fastball slips away, 1 ball and 1 strike. On the pitching change, Stuffed, who'd removed the shin guards going out to the visit to the mound for the pitching change. He did stay in. He's still behind the plate. 1-1 pitch, hopped in for ball 2. This truly goes back to our beginning of the game key to the contest. Mental battle to get yourself in this one. It's been a quick-tempoed game. As Yarish steps off, pick back to second, just back in ahead of the tag of Peary. Goes Sanchez. That was a nice pick. Looked like he was going to get him, and then just ahead of the tag. Two one to the plate fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Headley, 10th batter at the plate this inning for Luna. 2-2, bounder foul, will do it again. Good news for NJC is you have the top of your order due up in the bottom of the 5th inning. You've gotten into the Luna pen, who's already had an arm warming up and looking like you're going to need that offense now. 2-2 once again. Ball lifted back foul. Count remains. Yarish, 12 pitches in. Only 2 have missed the zone. Did give up the RBI double to Sanchez and the inherited runner that came across as well. Now 7 for Luna. Two. Bender doesn't, stays high, runs full. Luna's been able to find a couple full counts today. Strikeout and an infield single on the previous 2. 3-2, line shot foul for Headley. We're only at an hour and 18 minutes into this game. Started just before the top of the 1 o'clock hour, top of the 5th inning. We were cruising to the bottom of the 4th at 42 minutes. So the last inning of this ball game has taken more than a half hour because of the 9 runs scored. Bouncer over to second. Gobbled up by Peary. Gun to first in time to get out of the inning. But 6 cross on 6 hits for Luna. They lead 7-4, middle of 5 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Head to the bottom of inning number 5. The Northeastern Plainsmen now trail 7-4, 7 runs, 9 hits, an error, and 5 left on for Luna. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and 2 left on for NJC in Game 1 of this 4-game set. 5th brought to you by B&J Plumbing. Plumbing problems are no fun. I speak from experience over my last 18 days. Let the experts take care of your plumbing problem, no matter how major. Yep, got that. Or minor, 970-522-3828. Lane Schrader stays on the bump for Luna. Top of the NJC order due up in Yusei Uzawa, Tanner Peary, and Braden Stuffed. Schrader came on last inning in relief, used just 4 pitches. There is an arm in the pen. So, would not be surprised as a Luna coach is coming down from the pen if you don't see a mid-inning pitching change. Uzawa drops a bump back foul for strike number 1. Uzawa 1 for 2, had the infield single in the first inning and scored the first run of the game. Flew out to left his last time up. 0-1 pitch. He hammers one, but way foul right field side does the left-handed hitting freshman. "30 freshmen on this NJC roster this year. Coach Catchell knew you were going to have a roller coaster at times as Uzawa hurdles out of the way of the pitch in tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schrader. Fastball up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a good learning opportunity, though, if you're in JC. 2-2 pitch. Uzawa finds the gap out in left center field. Long run for Headley. He's not going to get there. It bounces all the way to the wall. Uzawa heading for second. He'll stop there. Thought about 3 when he rounded first and then pulled the gear back and trots in with a leadoff double, the first extra base hit of the day for the Northeastern Plainsmen. After giving up 6 in the top of the 5th inning, that's a heck of a way to kick off the bottom of the 5th as Tanner Peary comes to the plate. Now Peary's got a strikeout and a single, and we saw in that 3-run 4th inning for NJC, manufacturing runs. Uzawa 31 stolen bases on the year. Turn a double into a triple pretty quickly if he would like. Peary watches the first pitch bend outside, low and away for ball number 1. Schrader. 1-0 offering, finds the outside corner, evening the count out at a ball and a strike. There's always one game in the weekend series for Luna, having looked at some of their results this year, where you end up with a bunch of runs toward the end of the game. Typically not the first one of the weekend series. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-2. Schrader. 1-2 offering. Little flare job out to center field for Peary. Over goes Schrader. Headley makes the catch. Uzawa charging to third. He will go second to third on a average at best fly ball to center. That was definitely a chance, but part of the reason that you have a guy like Yusei Uzawa with the speed is to be able to use that. Braden Stuff will now step in. Down 7-4, 1 away, bottom 5. Ground out and a single to his credit. He takes the first pitch in the upper edge of the zone for strike number 1. Stuff scored a run last inning. Drove in a run in the first. 0-1. Sails away. 1 ball and 1 strike. He finds his way on without Uzawa coming home. I can guarantee you everybody in Region 9 will tell you you're going to see a double steal attempted. 1-1 pitch up for ball 2. These are the 2 guys with 30-plus stolen bases on the Plainsman roster this year. 2-1 pitch, inside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away, bottom 5, down 3. Start the comeback now. Schrader. Pitch delivered, smoked foul, third base side. Stuffed stays alive. Two-two pitch. High fly ball. Shallow center field. Galindo, the second baseman, back. Makes the catch on the pop-up for the second out of the inning. Runner stays at third. And the Northeastern Plainsmen will pinch hit here for Max Valerio as Michael Clark will pinch hit. Now you may go, well, why? Well, I mean, you've got a lot of guys that can hit, and now's a chance to take an opportunity for Clark to drive something somewhere. The first pitch bends away to Clark for ball number 1. 402 batting average. Clark not in the starting lineup in this one. 41 hits, 7 homers, 47 batted in. Ground ball deep at third, and it finds its way through. Uzawa comes home, and Coach Catchell said as it's now a 7-5 game. When we talked at the conclusion of the McCook series the last time we were on the airwaves, it's kind of a tough spot to be in. Which guy hitting better than 350 am I going to sit? It was Clark, and chance to manufacture something knowing that Valerio is going to be in the next games because he's catching. Let Clark get a swing. See if you can't do a little something with this bat and get Valerio ready as the bunt is dropped down by McVeigh and tossed to first. I don't think he wanted to touch that one, but it hopped off the handle and in. Nonetheless, NJC gets one on a Michael Clark RBI knock, down 7-5 to the 6th on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsmen trail 7-5 as we come back for the top of inning number 6, game 1 of the series against Luna. Coverage made possible by Rudy's Tires with several locations across the area. There's always one close by, and they can come to you on the farm if you can't get to them. Rudy'sTires.com for more information. Matt Yarish back out on the hill for NJC. Top of the Luna order due up, Matthew Wasson, Jose Galindo, and Ben Welsh. Wasson 3 for 3 in the ball game for the Luna Rough Riders. Where is he now? Wasson, his 35th start of the year, hitting .385, so going to continue increasing that number. But 2 of his 3 hits, infield singles, had a double his last time up as a part of last inning's 6-run fifth for Luna. Yarish. Still caught by stuff. Nothing changing defensively off the pinch hit because Valerio was the designated hitter. That changes nothing in the field for NJC. 1-0 Yarish. Low and in, 2 balls, no strikes. 9 hits for each team, 5 left on for Luna, 3 left on for NJC. 10 of the 12 runs scored over the last 3 half innings. 2-0 pitch, line back foul, 2 balls, 1 strike. Yarish. Bender away, 3 balls and a strike. Below the knees, ball 4. So Wasson walked. He's aboard safely for a 4th time in the game. This with a sophomore on the bump in Yarish is one where Coach Catchell, with your team down, you're going to let Yarish work with this one because you do have a 9-inning game left today. 7 and a 9 tomorrow in just game 1 of the series. So guy that is capable of throwing a fair amount of pitches will be asked to do so until the offense can get back on the right side as Jose Galindo steps in. Positive on every aspect of the game. He's reached on a single, a sac bunt to advance a runner. He's reached on an error. 1-0 pitch. He'll reach on a single here as he drives it out to left field. The 10th hit of the ball game for Luna. Runners on first and second, nobody out, top 6, and Ben Welsh to the plate. Welch had reached on a bunt single that drove in a run his last time up as a part of last inning. He's grounded out to third and walked as well. Plainsman back pick out to the field, and Yarish nearly got Wasson off the bag. They charged McVeigh. Peary wheeled toward first, hoping to catch Wasson watching. Throw underneath him with the shortstop sneaking in. Yarish to the plate. Check swing bounced foul by Welsh. 0-1. Seven, 5 Luna, top 6. Yarish. Breaking ball, flare up on the infield, diving play for Carson Souter, the shortstop, onto the infield grass to make the catch on that soft pop-up. And the first out. Runners stay where they are. Simon Molina steps in. Molina's yet to collect a hit today. Infield fly, reach on an air, and a pop up to third. First pitch, he hits a fly ball out to left. Delor Bay will not get there. It drops in front of him, so the knock for Molina, the 11th hit of the game, loads the bases up for Luna. 1 away, top 6. To Armando Serratos. Serratos struck out twice and grounded out. All of these numbers you're running, though, are against the starter in Gavin Lamont. Romero, who is on deck, was the last one to see Gavin Lamont before the change to Matt Yarish. Second base's juice chance of the ball game for Luna. Foul back by Serratos on the first one, 0-1. Loaded bases, nobody scored in the first inning, and NJC started cruising, holding Luna in check for the most part. They did get a run in the third on a small ball before exploding last inning. 0-1. High fly ball to center field. Uzawa long run. He's not going to get there. It bounces all the way to the wall. Wasson home. Galindo home. Molina had to hold up, or elected to hold up, and only goes to second, so it is a 2 RBI single as it goes. That's the longest single in the career of that young man at first. And Serratos, as it went all the way to the wall, but it plates 2, now 9-5 Luna. Still 1 away, runners on first and second to Xavier Romero. First pitch, he hits a fly ball to center field. In comes Uzawa. He makes the catch and throws a rope in. Molina was never advancing, but just showing off that arm, saying, hey, don't test me. 2 away. Runners stay at first and second to Saul Coronado. Coronado doubled. He was the first guy to see Matt Yarish. And here comes Coach Catchell with a very slow walk out to the mound with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. I don't know that Yarish is going to be given a chance to tangle with Coronado again. I believe he will be, removed from the game. 2 across in the 6th, 2 on, 9-5 Luna. Pitching change for NJC on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Pitching change for the Northeastern. Plainsman down 9-5, 2 away, top inning, number 6. Our pitching change brought to you by Gordon Insurance. Be prepared for everything life throws at you. Car insurance, life insurance, farm insurance, and crop insurance. All at Gordon Insurance, 970-526-6139. It's Sebastian Miranda, the new arm on the bump. 7th appearance of the year. 12 innings worth of work for him. He has a 1-1 record, 18 hits allowed, 14 earned runs, 14 strikeouts, and 8 walks. Miranda replaces Matt Yarish, who was responsible for the 2 guys on the base paths. Yarish, an inning worth of work, 28 pitches, 3 runs, all earned, no strikeouts, 5 hits, and a walk. 2 across in this 6th after 6 in the 5th for Luna. They lead 9-5. You're going to need your offense in the bottom of the 6th if you're NJC. Coronado line shot finds its way down behind the bag at third for Hoy. Molino home. Serratos trying to go first to home. Into second goes Coronado, and it is an 11-5 ball game on the RBI double. Luna's offense showing up to play after being held in check through the first 4 innings of this game. I mentioned it when you look at this Luna team inside regional play. They always have that one game where you're like, wow, that's some runs. You know, they scored 8 in a loss against Lamar last weekend, scored 9 in a loss to Otero. Scored 7 in a loss there. 1 against McCook, 10-7. For the most part, their games stay in the lower scoring capacity, but this is obviously one that is exploding offensively. Up 11-5. Aiden Sanchez steps in. Miranda, first pitch ball, second flare to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. Team that hits 280 as a unit. They're definitely showing up offensively to open up this Easter week 4-pack. 1-1 fastball popped back foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And definitely not out of the realm of possibility. 6 outs to work with, but down 6. You're going to need your offense to explode if you're NJC and you want to keep it at 6. Miranda, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets out to end the inning. But the Luna Rough Riders plate 4 more. They lead 11-5, middle of 6 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsman down 11-5 as we welcome you back to Plainsman Park for the bottom of inning number 6. Brendan Clellan, Hudson Hoy, O'Neill, Delor Bay due up in this 6th. Lane Schrader remains on the bump for the Luna Rough Riders. Mentioned the beautiful weather as we're over 80 degrees here in Sterling, Colorado, but the factor that's going to come in, as it does always in the spring, is the wind. It was at 17 miles an hour out of the west to start the game. Now it's turned to the south at 20 miles an hour. expected to continue to sit right around here, maybe back off a little bit as we push through the remainder of this Wednesday. Cleland 2 singles in this affair. First pitch to him way outside for ball number 1. Schrader surprisingly came in the bottom of the 4th inning for Luna. Starter was lifted just past 60 pitches and has been able to keep NJC on their heels. Had an arm working in the pen for quite a while, but Luna's staff sticking with Schrader as Cleland fouls off the 2-0, 2 balls and 1 strike. Run in the first for NJC, held until they were tied in the 3rd, scored 3 in the 4th, and gave up 6, scored 1, gave up 4. That's how they're now down 11-5, and Cleland ahead 3-1. You'd like to get your way on and see if you can manufacture something. Down 6 outs to work with. 3-1, ground ball to first. Mishandled, sprint to the bag, and it's legged out by Cleland. So he'll reach on an E3. And the leadoff man is on the second error of the game for Luna to Hudson Hoy. Hoy with a single his last time up to drive in a run as a part of the 4th. In fact, he's the last one to see Lane Schrader for a first time. He was the last knock that drilled the starter from the game, and Hoy, first pitch outside for ball number 1. Schrader 1-0, dusted in tight for ball 2 to Hoy. Plainsmen have been maybe a little aggressive to their detriment, and 2-0 on the count. Here comes the Luna coach walking with a purpose to the mound, and Schrader didn't even want to make eye contact with him. He was doing everything he could not to look at the Luna coach, who was marching purposefully out of the dugout. You anticipated maybe, okay, we've had an arm going in the pen here for a while. Maybe there is a change coming, and I don't know if that was maybe the fear that, okay, well, I'm just going to get lifted mid-bat because I missed poorly away and then poorly inside. That was just a pep talk, and Hudson Hoy, with nobody out, has a 2-0 count. Step off and a throw over to first, and Cleland dives back in safely. We'll talk about it on the Inside Northeastern podcast between games today. MJC's reputation precedes them when it comes to the stolen base department. You're going to get a lot of pick throws, a lot of step-offs, a lot of mindfulness when you've stolen 167 bases. 40-plus games into the season. 3-0 on the count to Hoy. Inside corner given for strike 1. Schrader with Cleland inching off the bag. 3-1. Pitch bounced back up the middle, takes a hop right into the awaiting glove of Serratos. He tags the bag at second and on to first for a double play. The second 6-3 double play of the game, hit into by the Northeastern Plainsmen. Leadoff air wiped clean on the double play. NJC down 11-5, and it's up to Aniel Delorbe to try and do something in the bottom of the 6th. You're now 4 outs away, down 6. Mountain becoming bigger. 1-0, Delaware Bay, opposite field fly ball, out to left, toward the wall, look up, look back, it's gone. Aniel Delaware Bay goes yard for NJC after the double play to reinflate some of the excitement in the Plainsman dugout. Third inning, scoring a run in a row, get the single spot on the shot from Delaware Bay, who had struggled at the plate in this contest with a strikeout and a weak ground out to his credit. He goes yard to make it 11-6, and Carson Souter with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th comes to the plate. He's grounded out to second and flown out to center this afternoon. Flip it back to the top, do a little something. Foul ball to the backstop for strike 1. All Souter has to do is get on, and then you have all the 400-plus hitters. Uzawa, Perry, Stuff, now Clark. Just one AB from Aniel Delaware Bay could change the name of this game. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Schrader, Bender, outside for ball 2. There's a position player, I believe, warming up in the pen for Luna. Could be wrong, though. The count is now 3-1 to Carson Souter. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Schrader in tight, ball 4. So Souter gets the walk and gets it back to the top of the order. And here comes the Luna coach. Second visit of the inning means pitching change. Plainsman back within 5, trying to do some more damage. Bottom 6 down 11-6 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Pitching change for the Luna Rough Riders as head coach Eric Wright comes out and brings in a third arm. It's number 24, who's not listed on any roster anywhere. I'm not entirely sure who it is, but there's a 14 that is Garrett Darner. And there's a 25 who is Daniel Beck. Both are right-handers like he is. We'll go Darner. Obviously, he's on whatever lineup they gave the umpire because there's no protest that he's not on the lineup there for the Luna Rough Riders. And it is Yusei Uzawa who will be the first man to face the new man, Darner, in the ball game. Plainsman down 11-6 after a solo shot from Aniel Delaware Bay. Uzawa singling a double to his credit in this game. Takes first pitch for strike number 1. There's another arm tossing in the pen for the Luna Rough Riders. And we talked with Coach Cantrell before this. He anticipated a staff outing from Luna in the 9-inning affairs as Uzawa rips one out to left field, and Romero camps and catches to end the inning. Northeastern Plainsmen get a run back, but they're down 5 going to the 7th. 11-6, they trail Luna on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Head to the inning 7. NJC down 11-6 to Luna in game 1 of this weekend series on a Wednesday afternoon. Our 7th brought to you by Ice Lanes. Have fun with your family and friends at Ice Lanes. Your affordable time awaits with bowling, food, and fun. 970-522-3331. Eli Headley leading things off for Luna, the center fielder. His 4th plate appearance of the game. Takes the first pitch out of the zone for ball 1. He's flown out to right. He's hit an infield single and grounded out to second in his previous 3. He fouls back the 1-0 offering. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sebastian Miranda came on in relief last inning. He will get the task of pitching the 7th. Luna 11 runs, 13 hits. They've left 6 on. NJC 6 runs, 10 hits. They've left 4 aboard. Cruised through the first 3 in the top of the 4th before NJC started to get the offense rolling, and then the 6th spot in the top of the 5th, the difference in the ball game right now. 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2 from Sebastian Miranda. Miranda, he'll find the outer edge this time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You lose game 1 of a weekend series. In order to then win the season series, you have to win the next 3. Up for ball 3. And, as we'll talk about on Inside Northeastern, on intermission on 94.5 The Ranch and TuneIn Radio with Coach Andrew Catchell. Southeast and Lamar playing this weekend. Fastball low and away, ball 4 for Miranda. So you really need to set the tone, get yourself 3 of 4, or all 4 would have been the ideal situation to still have a shot at a bye in the opening round. You still could get there, but on the road at Trinidad, WNCC in the split series, you have these home games. You've got to take these home games. Back to the top of the order, and Matthew Wasson, who's yet to be retired today. He foul tips the first one he sees for strike 1. Top 7, Luna's leadoff man, 3 hits and a walk. Miranda, low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sebastian breaking ball, opposite drive, make it 5 times to the plate and 5 times aboard safely. First to third on the exchange goes Headley, and then the throw gets away, and toward the Plainsman dugout to make this a 12-6 ball game. So aggressive running for Headley on the RBI knock. Home on the error. Come the 12th run of the game, the 4th error of the contest for NJC, this time a throwing error. So no run batted in for Wasson, who now stands in scoring position for Galindo, who has 2 singles, a sac bunt, and he's reached on an error this afternoon. Miranda first pitch on to the outside corner for strike number 1 to the Rough Riders second baseman. Oh, 1 fastball outside corner ahead. 0-2 goes Miranda. Sebastian, pitch hammered right back up the middle and out into center field. Wasson rounds third and heads to the plate. Uzawa cranks it up the line, and did they get him? No, they didn't at second. Stopping was Wasson, and heading back when Uzawa threw the rocket in. Going to second was Galindo, who was nearly tagged out on the back throw from Braden Stuffed. So it is a single, and then the runner moves to second on the throw in. 2 in scoring position, still nobody out. Top 7, 12-6 Luna to Ben Welch. Miranda trying to get himself comfortable right now. First pitch mishandled behind the dish by Stuffed, and home will come Wasson. So it's now a 13-6 affair on the passed ball. Luna has scored 12 of their 13 runs in the last 3 innings. And pop up behind the plate goes Welch on the 1-0. It gets behind the fence, foul for strike number 1. One offering. Fly ball to the right side of the infield. Peary on the dirt makes the catch and records the first out in the top of the 7th. Runner stays at third to Simon Molina. Now, Luna has had designated hitter Sal Coronado warming up in the bullpen. He's about ready to have to come to the plate, so he's stopped warming up in the pen and come back to the dugout. As I noted at the beginning of the game, the starter in this one for Luna is one of 9 guys that are also position players. Fastball just off the plate on the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miranda, 1-1 up and in. Check swing didn't go. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two, 1 up, 3-1. And the 3-1's lifted out to right field. Long run for Cleland. He won't get there, over his head and down to the wall. Trucking into second is Molina with an RBI double, and Luna strikes again. as the Rough Riders now have a 14-6 lead on a 3-spot in this 7th inning. Definitely not for the Northeastern Plainsmen what you envisioned this game working at as Coach Catchell comes out of the dugout. You were cruising, you were up 4-1 heading to the 5th, and everything has gone against you, gone away from you, and we'll have a pitching change when we come back. 1 out, top 7, down 14-6 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Deacon Trinkle, the new arm for the Northeastern Plainsmen, as we come back in the top of inning number 7. NJC down to Luna 14-2-6. Trinkle, the redshirt freshman who missed last year with an injury for the Northeastern Plainsmen, making his 6th appearance of the year. He's only thrown 3 1/3 innings worth of work. 3 hits, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts for him. Dealt with a concussion his senior year in high school that he sustained during basketball. Wasn't able to get onto the baseball field until the middle of April. Helped spearhead his team to a state championship, including driving the walk-off to win that for the Northeastern Plainsmen in extra innings. Or for the Merino Rams, pardon me. Then came here to NJC and injured his shoulder during fall ball, missed all of his freshman campaign. Just at the start of the season this year, Deacon Trinkle was hit by a ball during warm-ups and sustained what they thought might have been a concussion, so very precocious for him, and got about a 3-week late start and hasn't been able to quite get into that high leverage situation they were hoping he could assume for the team this year, as Trinkle paints the outside corner for strike number 1. There's always an arm for NJC that comes on late in the season. It was Matt Yarish last year that helped spearhead something. Could it be Trinkle this year, as you're going to need that bullpen depth, and down 14-6. Now's the time to come in a leverage situation and say, yeah, we're down 14-6, but I want you to X. 1 away, top 7. 1-1 pitch. Foul ball off, 1-2. More so than any other sport, there's pieces to the world of baseball that you just can't define. Sometimes it's a feel situation. You may not know as the 1-2's waved out by Serrato, and he's the second out of the inning. In the top of the 7th. You may not know it at the time, but it'll be something that'll plant that seed for something in the future. Good strikeout there, keeping Molina at second. Now Xavier Romero comes to the plate. Now offensively for NJC, down 8. What can you start building in the bottom of the 7th toward that 9-inning affair? That has to be that second focus once you get through the top of this inning number 7. That 9 will definitely be a war of attrition, given what we've already seen from how Luna is going to approach the pitching beyond the starting. 1 pitch misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trinkle 1-1 offering below the knees for ball 2. Two one pitch, ground ball to third, diving play by Hoy, gun across the diamond in time. My goodness, good defensive play there. Another defensive gem on the infield for NJC. Luna, though, got 3, top 7. So now they're down 8, or the Northeastern Plainsmen, 14-6, bottom 7 next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Plainsman down 14-6. Bottom of inning number 7, game number 1 of the series with Luna. And Luna will have Saul Coronado on the bump. His 12th appearance of the year, 20 and a third innings of work. He's blown 2 saves, made 4 saves for Luna. 20 hits, 21 earned runs, 16 strikeouts, 15 walks for him this year. He was the designated hitter, so should we get beyond this 7th inning and they have to hit, Coronado will be hitting for the pitcher, and then if he ever is lifted as the pitcher will have to hit for himself in this game. But that's why you use him in this situation. Mentioned it with Coronado, who was on deck in the top of the 7th. He'd been warming up in the bullpen, then had to come in when his batting spot got close. Knowing that you're up 8, even though this isn't a save situation, you used Coronado late in the game, and Plainsmen will see if they can't develop something against Coronado. Tanner Peary, Braden Stuft, and Michael Clark due up in the bottom of this 7th inning. Brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions, helping you through all the growing process. Seed, food, water, 970-571-2024. Coronado missed low for ball number 1 to Peary, who's 1 for 3 this afternoon. He'll take the second on the inside corner and even the count out at a ball and a strike. Singled to lead off the 4th, came home and scored as a part of that 3-run inning. One and one. Coronado. Breaking ball started at the helmet, finished at the belt, all inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fastball can't be caught up with by Peary. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch waved at by Peary, and he's down on strikes for the first out in the 7th inning. NJC's committed 4 errors defensively, but I think probably the biggest bugaboo for them has been their lack of success in plating runs with runners in scoring position. They're 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They are 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position outside of that 3rd inning. Braden Stuft drives a pitch deep to center field, but Eli Headley over to track it down for the 2nd out in the bottom of the 7th. Plainsmen down 14-6, and that'll lead to the 2nd AB of Michael Clark, who singled as a pinch hit for Max Valerio. This is one of those, let's get him a little bit of rhythm, knowing he's going to be in the lineup probably the rest of the weekend. Get him a couple ABs, knowing Max Valerio's going to catch the next game, probably next 3 games for the Plainsmen, and he's going to hit as well, having already swung a bit. 0-1 pitch, bouncer over to short, picked up by Serratos, tossed across the diamond in time, and NJC ends game 1 against Luna on a whimper. They were up 4-1 and end up falling 14-6. They gave up 13 of the 14 runs in the final 3 innings. And the Plainsmen, they fall in game number 1. Final line score brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Western Engineering Consultants is here for all of your engineering needs because they have the big firm product and the small firm relationships. Visit westerneci.com for more information. The final line score on this one reads 14 runs, 16 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left on for Luna. 6 runs, 10 hits, 5 errors, and 4 left aboard for the Plainsmen. Loss for NJC is hung on the starting pitcher Gavin Lamont. He goes to 3-3 on the year. Lane Schrader in relief earns the win for Luna. Should be about a 3:35 or so p.m. first pitch for the 9-inning game. Stay tuned, though, because on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, on 94.5 The Ranch, we have Inside Northeastern with Coach Andrew Castro coming up. Plainsmen fall 14-6 in Game 1 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.